We'll kick things off today with help on the home from Gasper Law Group has an insight on how to support seniors and how to prepare for your future. If you aren't in your golden years yet, let's go live to their downtown Colorado Springs office to check in with Krista. Good morning, Krista. How are you?
Good morning, Nova. Doing well here today at Gasper Law, and today we're talking about elder law, which is all about protecting the older folk community as well as their rights. We've got Catherine here. She's an attorney with Gasper Law Group to kind of share a little bit about what elder law is and why it's important for families to know about.
That's a really good question. I appreciate the ask. Elder law is a different area of law where we really focus on the client. In bankruptcy, you deal with people's debts. In family law, you deal with a divorce. In elder law, you work with the client.
Yeah.
And so we're dealing with an aging client or a client with a disability, and we're looking at housing, services, income, eligibility for any programs that might provide assistance, and most importantly, autonomy, the ability to control your own life. And so an elder law attorney is working with a population of elderly and disabled people to help them to have the fullest life possible with as much control over their life as possible. The other thing that elder law attorneys work with, we work with normally the adult children and caregivers of seniors who are aging and need assistance.
What are some of the main challenges that you see people face, especially for that community?
One of the most difficult things is a lack of planning and a crisis. So I deal a lot with families in a crisis where there's no pre-planning, there's nobody in charge to take over if the senior has some sort of a medical incident and for a period of time or maybe forever can no longer manage their affairs. And so we're having to look to the courts to have someone appointed to be able to assist them to make decisions about their care, decisions about their finances. And so the key is to make a robust plan that is a plan that's deep enough that if your first agent that you've selected can't serve, you have a second and then possibly a third agent that are all good people that can step up and help you in the event you need assistance.
But it's kind of nice that Gasper Law has this kind of law firm to be able to help people like that so they can trust somebody who's dealing with these big issues or these big different kind of life options.
I've worked hard my entire career because I wanted to be good at this area of law. When I was a young attorney and was practicing in elder law, people were getting very bad advice about how to qualify a parent for, let's say, Medicaid for nursing home care. And because I was young and the information that I was providing was contrary to what some local scam artists were providing, I was discounted. So I became a certified elder law attorney, which is a national process. Colorado doesn't recognize any specialties like that, but I have a national certification that's recognized by the American Bar Association as an elder law attorney. I also have an LLM, which is a second degree in elder law. And I have a certificate from UCCS in gerontology. So I have studied elder law and aging issues my entire career so that I would have current and accurate information so that I can be a resource both for seniors and for their families who are working to assist them.
And then speaking of the families, sometimes dealing with these kind of legal issues can kind of be overwhelming for a lot of family members, especially loved ones who really care about their elder folk. So talk to me a little bit, some advice that you would give them when it comes to the sort of planning aspect of it.
Well, one of the key things is that a plan should be transparent. Whoever is going to be in charge and is going to assist the parent, they should not be afraid to account to everyone in the family, particularly about what they're doing with finances, and they should share information if they are now making decisions under a medical power of attorney. One of the most important things a family can do to help a senior as they age is to build a coalition and to work together so that everyone is in agreement on the plan going forward. Even if the plan fails and you have to get assistance from the court because a person doesn't have decision-making authority, the key is if the family is all in agreement, it's going to be a much easier process.
You know, I always like to leave here on a high note with Gasper Law, and we've got one more person to introduce you to this morning. This is Monty. He's kind of how would you describe Monty here, Catherine?
Monty is basically in charge of client relations. And Monty's key is that he wants you to feel welcome when you come into the office. He would like a pet, maybe two.
And a scratch.
Yes. And one of the things that Monty does is he makes particularly families that are in crisis and they're pretty stressed out, the ability to sit with Monty and pet Monty a little bit helps people to kind of de-stress and realize that, yes, we have a legal process to get through, but there's more to life than just the legal process. So Monty helps people chill a little when they get here.
Well, Catherine, thank you so much for your time this morning, learning a little bit more about elder law, how Gasper Law can help you, and really those the family members that really kind of need the little extra help or push when it comes to the different kind of elder planning.
You're welcome.
All right, guys, we are here at Gasper Law for help on the home front. These are the folks who are going to be able to help you with the elder law, but plus plenty other law options here at the Gasper Law Group. So make sure you head to the website, see how they can help you, and just, you know, maybe come say hi to Monty, too. Come here, Monty.
Say hi to Monty.
Nova, toss it back to you.
Fantastic, Krista, fantastic. Awesome information this morning, wonderful location, staff, and, well, Monty as well. It's fantastic. Thanks, Krista. Help on the Home Front was sponsored by Gasper Law Group today.